in LA, you were there with your great-grandparents and...
Grandparents.
Oh, grandparents. My great-grandparents, yeah. Uh, Antonio and
Elodia.
Elodia. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And did you get to see a lot of the other relatives when you were there?
Yes.
Who was
Lots of
there?
cousins.
Who was there?
Gigi and Patrice and my cousin Greg. And of course they were just like 10, 12, 8 years old at that time.
And your Uncle George was there also,
Oh, yes.
and your Uncle Ange.
Marie. And Rudy was there, and Ange.
I didn't realize
They were married by then, and Jean.
So it was the Parecas you were saying right there?
No.
We have a lot of Marie's
Oh, okay.
family.
Oh, okay. All right. And so you were there 7 months and then pick it up again from there?
I think my grandparents realized I wouldn't be there for long. They wanted me to come every opportunity, and they'd put out a feast like I was some kind of important person.
And what did you think about California? That had to be quite a bit different from Philadelphia, but you had seen a lot of the world flying up to that point too.
Well, when I was 9 years old, my mother, father, and another couple, the Despinosis, Tony was a riot. We took a car trip across the country, Route 66, and it was so fun. Tony was a riot, and I got permission from the school. It was, I was to bring back cotton bowls and different things for my classroom, share time. And I loved California. My grandparents had an orange tree in their yard and an avocado tree, and just loved the architecture there. And I mean,
they had a Spanish-style home. I saw the picture
there.
there.
Balcony. I just was entranced with the whole thing, and I thought, oh, I would love to live in California someday.
And did they live in actually the city of Los Angeles, or was it one of the other cities? Baldwin Park. Okay. Do you remember what the address was?
Yes. I have it, 30 La Cienega Boulevard. I can't tell you the
That's
number.
a real long street.
La Cienega Boulevard.
Okay.
And they're both buried in Forest Lawn. I'd like to go up and visit that.
So you met up again in Miami, and I think that's where you have a couple of pictures, right? The Fontainebleau Hotel, or was that a subsequent trip?
No, that was later.
Oh, okay. So you had a visit down there and pick it up from there?
Well, when we went down, I remember Barbara prepared a picnic. I remember you made roast beef sandwiches. Why I remember that, I don't know. And we went to the beach, and I proposed to her on the beach.
It was right across the street from my apartment.
And I said, you don't have to answer me right now, and she didn't. And I think it was the next day we were at a nightclub, and I was talking to her, and right in the middle of whatever I was saying, she said yes. And I thought, what, and then she said yes again, and I thought, whoa, I've done it.
You closed the sale.
Well, actually, I prayed about things. I didn't have a personal relationship, but I loved God, and I prayed. And I said, if this is the man for me, if I am to be married, give me peace. And I got it. And it scared me a little bit, but I still couldn't get away from it. I had peace.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about your wedding. How long were you engaged? And
so right then, Barbara told her mother, and her mother started the preparations. And her mother's in Philadelphia, Barbara's in Miami Beach, I'm in Chicago. Her mother made the preparations, and we came together. It was really not much after that. I must have proposed in August, and we were married September 29th, and we just all came together, and
how'd the wedding go?
Well, I have to tell you, my mother bought my gown. She brought a headpiece. I had no idea what a mantilla was. She said, "You'll love it." And it was a beautiful gown, a designer gown. I think she was able to get through our friend who worked for a fashion house in Philadelphia. And down to every detail, she planned a beautiful wedding, a mass at Sacred Heart Church. And the wedding reception was a 3-course sit-down meal with a band, my cousin's son's band, and about 150 people. I was very impressed. My mother said, "It's the money you sent home that whole time you were away from Philadelphia." I just thought, okay, I did a good job.
Did many relatives from Illinois have a chance to make it out?
Yeah, I think a fair number came.
And friends.
The friends who were in the wedding.
And family from Florida, my Uncle Pat's family.
So you were married in 1962, and you had almost 2 years before I came along. What was your marriage like without kids in the first couple of years?
Well,
We were very poor.
Barbara was making $300 a month working at Marshall Fields. I was making $300 a month, which was a draw, and I never made the $300, so I actually was going into debt to be
Bad
able to work.
market,
So
62.
between the two of us, we were making $600 a month.
But it was fun.
And where was that first apartment?
That was in Rogers Park, right at the north edge of Chicago, right on the Evanston border. And our rent was $110 a month, so, you know, we made it on the 600, okay.
And we got to visit there when we went back.
Yes.
We saw it.
Mm-hmm. And did you have a chance to get away at all? Or was it just, were things just a little too tight at that point in time?
Get away, you mean a vacation?
Any little weekend vacations or anything?
Just to see the family in Ottawa,
Yeah.
which was fun. But every week my mother would call and say, "Are you pregnant yet?" A little pressure.
Yeah.
And Dad said, "Well, you know, we don't have the money to start a family." I said, "I'll pray." I did. I said, well, "I pray." It worked out.
Yeah, at the time Barbara got pregnant, we had a total of $200 in the bank, and that was it. Make it $600 a month.
Living on the edge.
You saw that maternity dress I made out of drapery fabric. It was pretty nice.
Yeah. So, Dad, you were born August 2nd, 1935. You were, let's see, I think you were almost 29 when I was born.
Right.
So you were 28, and Mom, you were 22, soon to be 23 later that year. And right now, Dad, you just had your 74th, just a spring chicken. And Mom, you'll have your 69th later this year on November 18th. You were born in 1940, right? Okay.
That's easy.
So I came along May 23rd, 1964. What kind of baby was I?
Adorable.
Of course.
Huggable. Good baby. Very good baby. For a first baby and somebody who hadn't done a lot of babysitting, you were a good first baby, no problems.
I
And
remember when you were born and you were in the hospital yet, and you were in this little glass room right inside Barbara's room, and I just kept staring at you. You know, I couldn't believe that this little person was mine. And Barbara said, "Aren't you going to pay any attention to me?"
Evanston Hospital was a very innovative, one of the best hospitals of its day. And they put the baby right next to the mom, which is a healthy thing. You bond and with the daddy and the mom and family. So that was a good beginning.